Ito ang Broad Streamcast Communicators, ang naiiba at kakaibang plataforma sa digital broadcast. Mula Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao hanggang sa iba't ibang dako ng mundo. Broad Streamcast Communicators, ang sandigan ng sambayanan mula sa walang labis at walang kulang na pagbabalita, paglilingkod, maglalahad ng mga mapagbuong komentaryo at usaping pambayan para sa kapakanan ng karamihan. Broad Streamcast Communicators, tuwirang maglilingkod ngayon hanggang sa susunod na henerasyon. Buhay Online, chikahan at kaalamang pangkabuhayan. Ating tunghayan, pakinggan at tuklasin ang mga pangyayari at kaganapan sa mundo ng online. Buhay Online, chikahan at kaalamang pangkabuhayan. Alamin ang pinaka-latest trends mula sa trabaho at kung hanggang saan na ang narating ng teknolohiyang ito. At ngayon, narito na ang ating host, ang ating Techie Mami, si Jaye Bautista.
Hello everyone, a very bright and sunny and hopeful Monday morning sa lahat sa inyo. Of course, welcome to Buhay Online po. Monday na naman, okay, natapos na ang weekend. I trust that everyone spent their weekend restful and of course, sa ating mga kapatid sa Amerika na parang nagpipiesta, Diyos ko, yung mga kaibigan ko doon, parang post ng mga pictures na wala ng maskara, namasyal, pumunta sa ibang states, okay, iba naman nag-travel talaga abroad, right? Those who are parang fully vaccinated, biyahe na talaga. Pero, I have a few contentions about that kasi diba, kahit na nabakunahan na tayo, can I just say that hindi yan guarantee na hindi na tayo magkaka-COVID. Yes, because I know people who are fully vaccinated, okay, nadapuan pa rin ng coronavirus. Pero yun nga lang, hindi kasing severe, okay, para na lang kunyari silang nag-deal with a fever or flu, gumaling ka agad. Pero of course, case to case yan. What if you have comorbidities or existing ailments, right? O kung nadapuan ka ng pneumonia tapos nagka-COVID. So, I think kahit na vaccinated na tayo, or like sa Amerika, they're parang living normally now, no masks when they go out. I think we still should wear masks as long as the virus is there and at saka nga yung bagong variant, yung Delta variant na yan, na fast spreading all over the world. It's still there. I think we should still keep wearing masks when we go out till we are definite about yung efficacy ng vaccine. Di ba kasi it'll take months, maybe a year to find out kung ano nga yung di ba, kung paano yung protection na yan against the virus or tsaka di ba ngayon di pa nila alam kung yung vaccine na yan pwede rin sa variant ng virus, di ba? But anyway, so please still keep your medical your safety medical measures even if vaccinated na kayo, no? Kasi hindi na sabihin hindi na kayo nadapuan na itong coronavirus, okay? So of course sa mga ang dami nagpipiesta, biyahe-biyahe na kasi tsaka na nga, GCQ na sa Metro Manila and MGCQ na sa most parts. But still, huwag nating abusuhin, right? Yung mga public gathering pa rin ng maraming tao, social distancing pa rin, okay? So yeah, anong topic ko nakalagay? Current events on education and pandemic. Well, because a lot of people are still emailing and texting regarding yung online education distance learning na tinalakay natin for the past 2 weeks. Kasi nga, ayan ang existing situation, prevailing dito sa education natin at sa pamumuhay natin ngayon. Itong issue ng hindi pagbubukas ng face-to-face learning pa rin, itong school year na 2021 to 2022. Okay, I have some news about that I'd like to share, okay? Regarding sa DepEd at ano yung nangyayari tungkol dyan in connection to hindi pagbubukas ng eskwelahan ng face-to-face learning pa rin, right? Nung June, I think this was, okay, let me see. There's an issue about yung funding, okay, tsaka yung di ba nagkaroon ng issue yung tungkol sa quality ng education, nag-deteriorate daw ang Pilipinas, di ba? Na nag-rank tayong mababa sa world, sa math tsaka sa science, na nung araw naman magaling tayo. So I have a bit of news to share. Isa na dito yung ito, okay? DepEd expands financial education in K-12 to improve literacy of Filipinos. O, di ba? This is good news, I think, of course, right? Right? It's definitely good news, right? So let's hear about it a little bit, okay? Let me talk to you about it kasi nakita ko tong news na to, all right? This is from the Department of Education. DepEd expands financial education in K-12 to improve literacy of Filipinos. The DepEd issues its financial education policy under DepEd Order Number 22 S.2021 to improve the financial literacy and capability of its learners, teachers, and personnel by integrating financial concepts in the learning areas and providing professional development opportunities. Ano ibig sabihin? Noong July 8 lang, okay, a few days ago, okay, yung DepEd said, with a vision of financial literate nation, ang Department of Education or ang DepEd through the Bureau of Curriculum Development or BCD has expanded and intensified the integration of financial education in the K-12 basic education curriculum to improve the financial literacy and capability of its learners, teachers, and personnel, which will enable them to acquire financial health and financial inclusion. Yung mga recent studies daw kasi shows that ng mga Filipinos ay nagsastruggle intindihin ang basic financial concepts, with a Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas survey showing that 41% of Filipinos can only answer one of three financial literacy questions correctly, and a meager 8% can answer three. Diba? Ang lungkot naman nun ng ano na yan, ratio. Kasi with this, yung DepEd issued its financial education policy under DepEd Order 0.022 Series of 2021. Ang aim nito is to help learners and teaching and non-teaching personnel to make sound financial decisions by making financial education an essential part of school lessons and activities for learners, and a provision of capability building opportunities for teaching and non-teaching personnel. So, ibig sabihin, magiging kasama na yan sa curriculum, yung financial education, whether it's sa distance learning na nga, online or through modules. Okay? Financial education is vital in developing a financially literate citizenry, or mga taong maalam tungkol sa finances. Okay? Ini-empower itong mga tao to make wiser financial decisions, take advantage of economic opportunities, and achieve financial health, explained Education Chief Leonor Magtolis Briones. Ang sabi ni Briones ni Education Chief Briones, financial literate citizens can contribute more productively to inclusive growth and be more effective agents of nation building. Okay? Under the said policy ng DepEd, okay, the National Educators Academy of the Philippines, or NEAP, the Teacher Education Council, or TEC, Secretariat for Teachers in Training, and the Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development, or BHROD, will give appropriate capacity and competency building activities to teachers, leaders, teachers in training, at pati mga non-teaching personnel. Okay? The trainings will address both professional and personal training needs of DepEd personnel. And saka, itong sa ganitong paraan, matutulungan sila and para sila ma-equip with kaalaman on financial education concepts, core messages, as well as helping them to hone their own financial management skills, which is anchored on the objective of DepEd in producing financially literate and debt-free teaching and non-teaching force. Okay? So, madaling, okay. Meanwhile naman, ang mga learners will be taught key financial concepts and skills, okay, on earning, saving, spending, budgeting, donating, investing, planning, tsaka consumer protection and entrepreneurship. Okay? They will also learn and understand the value of money and resources, how they are acquired, how to plan and manage assets, and how to save and share. Importante naman talaga kasi ang financial education, di ba? Paano natin i-manage ang ating finances, ang ating mga, paano i-budget ang ating pera, paano natin mai-invest ng tama, right? Learners, okay, matuturuan din ng ating mga learners how to open a savings account. Yung simpleng ganun, di ba? Kasi marami pang tao ang walang bank account, right? Walang, di ba? Marami talaga. Learners will be taught how to open a simple savings account and help manage their resources prudently, which helps them apply these concepts sa totoong buhay, di ba? Which is one of the policy's key objectives. Okay? According to BCD Director Jocelyn Andaya, the financial concepts and core messages shall be integrated without changing the existing learning competencies in the learning areas of K-12 basic education curriculum. There shall be no changes in the content standards of each learning area during the integration process. Sinabi ni Director Andaya na ini-encourage din niya lahat ng mga educators to be reflective, flexible, creative, and innovative in the delivery of lessons by using drills, exercises, activities, examples of real-life financial experiences and concepts, valuing the process of making financial decisions, contextualize financial situations and environment, and other performance output. Okay? So serving as a guide for both public and private school heads and teachers, the policy covers all learners mula sa public tsaka private, junior and senior high school, pati mga learning centers for special education or SPED, and alternative learning systems, ALS, and indigenous learning systems, at kasama na rin nga dyan yung online education. Okay? So yan ang take ng DepEd regarding financial education. Alright? Very good. Ano pa? Itong mga sasabihin ko sa inyong umaga ay ang mga news from DepEd at kung paano nila gumagawa ng mga paraan para ma-facilitate ang ating online education, distance learning. Ito pang isang balita mula sa DepEd, okay? Ang DepEd provides pre-employment webinar for graduating learners and teachers. Di ba katatapos lang ng school year, okay? Ang DepEd provides pre-employment webinars or sa seminar on the internet for graduating learners tsaka teachers. DepEd virtually conducted a nationwide pre-employment training for teachers and grade 12 learners to help graduating learners transition to a work environment. Maganda, okay? A few days ago pa rin yan, last week. Sorry. Okay, July 2. Ang DepEd or the Department of Education conducted, okay, a nationwide pre-employment training last June, okay, entitled Building an Impactful Resume and Professional Brand for Teachers and Grade 12 Learners to help graduating learners transition to a work environment. Oy, maganda, di ba? Yung webinar na yon is one of our responses to the need for futures thinking in education, for readiness to confront the rapid changes, the challenges, and opportunities of the future. We want to ensure that our learners will be globally competitive if they choose to work after their graduation and basic education. Ito yung sabi ng Education Chief Leonor Briones. Okay? The training was conducted virtually by the agency's Office of the Undersecretary for Administration, or OUA, and in partnership with Microsoft Philippines and the Employers Confederation of the Philippines, or ECOP. Okay? We are happy, sabi dito sa news na to, we are happy and excited to have gotten support from our partners for this program. This gives graduating senior high school students more opportunities to find possible employment, or if not, gave significant real-world experience in job hunting. Sabi ito ni Undersecretary for Administration Elaine Delby Pascua. Okay? Yung webinar na kinandak na ito para sa mga pre-employment parang training for would-be potential employees, okay? Yung webinar garnered a total of 140,950 registrants nationwide, with 13,759 participants from Region 7 and 13,754 participants from Region 6 and 13,494 from Region 3. Okay. During this webinar, okay, Mr. Ferdinand Ferrer, the chairperson of ECOP's Job Creation Committee, shared insights and trends in skill demands in the workforce and the essence of upskilling for workers in their workforce chosen track. Okay? Yung webinar na ito also discuss creating impactful resumes, kung paano, di ba, nagturo rin ito ng webinar na ito kung paano gumawa ng powerful or impactful resumes and LinkedIn profiles, utilizing office tools, and pursuing career-ready credentials and certificates, di ba? Kasi talaga importante ang nilalaman ng iyong resume. Kung naghahanap ka ng trabaho, kailangan impactful, meaning nag-create ka ng impact sa magbabasa or titingin ng resume mo na ano siya, or maiengganyo siyang i-hire ka, or kasi nga yung mga sinasabi, ang mga laman ng resume mo creates an impact sa potential employer mo. Dahil meron doon, okay, it's the content of your resume that matters, right? How you can be impactful, how can you encourage your potential employer to hire you, kasi saan mababasa niya doon sa laman ng resume mo. Okay? So, this webinar also teaches people how to improve their resumes, okay? And LinkedIn profiles, okay? USEC Pasco revealed that the project is the commencement of more projects that his strand will develop to help graduating learners shape their professional skills to be globally competitive in the workplace. That's right. Kasi, the truth be told, mas competitive naman talaga ang ating mga graduates dito sa Pilipinas. Because, sa atin ang college education, of course, it determines our careers. Because I've been teaching a lot of Japanese students for more than 2 years. Sa Japan, medyo odd yung kanilang educational system. Para sa kanila, mas mahirap pang mag-aral ng senior high kesa sa college life, because doon, sabi nga ng estudyante ko, wala daw bumabagsak sa college kasi they don't really study seriously in college anymore, because in Japan, okay, the students study English because they have to pass the ICANN test or whatever, and also for their test so that they can go to a good college. There, importante sa kanila na mataas yung grade mo sa ICANN para makapunta ka sa magandang eskwela. Kasi doon, hinahire even before you graduate from your fourth year college, meron ka ng job offer, because ang tinitingnan nila yung eskwela, hindi yung major. So, a lot of students in Japan just take any kind of major that they want. Tapos, hindi naman nila gagamitin sa trabaho kasi i-hire sila ng mga companies not based on experience, not based on or on their majors, but because of their schools. Tapos, pag hinire ka, hindi mo pa alam yung trabaho mo, i-train ka pa nila. You don't even know what your job designation is. So the only people that really specialize, of course, doctors, they take medicine, law to be lawyers, or yung mga may clinical, or yun nga, pag IT, kasi nga I tell my students, in America, of course, Apple or Google will not hire you if you don't have IT background, right? That's why it doesn't make their graduates competitive. Pero dito sa Pilipinas, syempre, like in America or most places, Your college education is determines your career, your major. Kaya ka kumukuha ng kurso para sa future trabaho mo. Right? Okay. So yan yung news ko about DepEd providing pre-employment webinar for graduating learners and teachers this past school year. Okay? So, iba pang news galing sa DepEd. Okay? Nung June daw, okay, nung last month, okay, DepEd distributed e-learning gadgets to remote schools in North Luzon. Wow, this is very good news, okay? All right. Okay, pakita natin ulit. Hold on a second lang, ha? Okay, tingnan natin to. Kukunin ko lang ulit, ha? Pasensya na po. I-grab ko lang for you to see, all right? Ay, hold on. Okay, ulit. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what the DepEd did last month, all right? I think it's pretty good. Sana all places. Right? Oh my goodness. Hold on. Sana all places nga. Diba? Para happy lahat. Okay, all right. Here's another bit of news from DepEd that are good tidings actually. Okay, I think it's pretty good news that I want to share. Okay, kunin ko lang, i-grab ko lang please yung image. Be patient. Anyway, anong ulam yon this lunch? Today I have chicken pork adobo. Okay, courtesy of my beloved. Siyang nagluluto dito sa bahay. Wala nang lumipat ako dito sa Pampanga. Hindi ako talaga pinaluluto. Because, well, I guess he's the better chef. Well, chef, sorry. You know, yung chef. The term chef is not aral ka ng cooking. He's the better cook between the two of us. I can't say that because I know I'm also a good cook. Kaya lang yun nga, sabi niya talaga, Kapampangan cuisine, or actually Filipino cuisine, siya daw mas mabuti magluto. Sa akin na lang daw yung mga international or mga foreign food. Okay, ito na, nakuha ko na. Alright? Okay, so tapos na tong financial education na to. Sabihin ko naman to yung tungkol sa, oops, sorry. Ano ba? Ang likod ko ah. Okay, here, okay, the DepEd distributes, okay, the DepEd distributes e-learning gadgets to remote schools in Northern Luzon. Di ba maganda? Right? Magandang balita. Okay? So, they said, spearheaded by the Office of the Undersecretary for Administration, or OUA, the Central Office Monitoring Team provided e-learning gadgets to remote schools in Cagayan Valley, Central Luzon, and the Cordillera Administrative Region. So, hindi ko alam kung from that time, because this news is June 30, 2021, kung nag-branch out na rin sila sa ibang lugar. Kasi bakit dito lang sa area na to, right? Sana all places na kailangan ng e-learning gadgets kasi yan ang isa sa mga pitfalls ng distance learning eh. Yung kawalan ng funds at saka kawalan ng availability ng mga gadgets to use for online learning, right? Yung nagkaroon nga ng digital divide eh, di ba? As of June 30, 2021, ito yon, the Department of Education or DepEd continued its field visits in Northern Luzon and distributed educational tools to recipient schools, learners, and personnel, okay, to strengthen the implementation of blended learning in hard-to-reach areas, okay? Sana lahat, di ba? Sana all the hard-to-reach areas tulungan. Dahil may mga magdo-donate naman eh, right? Mag-campaign tayo para to bring gadgets to the provinces, to bring gadgets to the remote areas, of course, and to set up nga Wi-Fi centers where they can learn, right? Na may social distancing naman, okay? But spearheaded by the Office of the Undersecretary for Administration o yung OUA nga, the group from Central Office monitored and provided e-learning gadgets sa mga selected schools sa Cagayan Valley, Central Luzon, and the Cordillera Administrative Region. Di ko intindihan kung bakit itong area na itong napili. Di ko kasi wala akong nabasang news tungkol doon. Pero iyan yung pinuntahan nila, Northern Luzon. As I always say to the public, we need to utilize and maximize the advantage of having these kinds of technology in making uh, uh, our basic education more inclusive to the learners, okay, especially to those who are in last mile schools. Sabi na naman ito ni Education Secretary Briones. Okay? All right? Ah, hindi ko alam kung ako ay nakakapag-broadcast. Sandali. Because namamatay-matay. All right? Anyway, so yeah. So anyway, please patuloy nyo pa lang please feel free to field your questions po through my email and of course through my messenger or my Facebook account or dito diretso sa Broad Streamcast Communicators. If you notice, nag-iba yung logo namin. Okay? Pero parang mas gusto ko yung dating logo na mas malaki dapat yung microphone tsaka Broad Streamcast, right? Kasi ito, na parang na-obscure naman. BSC lang nakikita eh. Parang religious ano. Anyway, but yeah, so please, okay? Thank you so much for joining me today, yung mga nakatutok dyan na hindi ko makita ang pangalan. But, pala, before I continue with my news from DepEd, I want to greet happy birthday pala to Tita Mirna Lakap. Happy birthday to you yesterday and also the other day. Happy birthday to my kumaring Sarah Garcia de la Rosa. Happy birthday to you, Mars, my love. And Tita Mirna, happy birthday po sa inyo. Okay, salamat po sa pagkain na padala dahil hindi ako nakapunta sa inyong konting salo-salo. But very thankful po para sa handa na napadala nyo through my beloved Jenny. And of course, also, thank you to the Lacap family for always supporting our programs and our posts, right? Thank you to Tita Agnes Lacap who consistently watches and pati si Tita Heidi at si Dax. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtaguyod sa tsaka si Tita Prima Niago dyan sa barrio sa Bacolor. Okay, so as I was saying, okay, yun nga, nag-distribute ng mga e-gadgets for e-learning, ang e-gadgets, ng gadgets for e-learning ang DepEd. Okay? Sabi pa ni Education Secretary Briones, I hope that the schools will utilize these e-learning gadgets properly for the betterment of our distance learning. Ano pa nga bang gagawin? Magbe-video game po. Sorry po, but of course, kaya nga natin yung binigay para makapag-facilitate yung online learning at distance learning po, right? Sobrang naman kung gamitin pa nila sa ibang bagay. Tsaka yun na nga, nakamonitor naman yung mga magulang, di ba? Especially dun sa mga hindi naman nagtatrabahong magulang na ang dapat nila na added trabaho nila ngayon is yung pagsusupervise sa pag-aaral ng kanilang mga anak sa bahay. Okay? Alright. So, Undersecretary for Administration Elaine Delby Pasqua, in cooperation with Google Philippines, led the delivery of the Google Chromebooks in the Schools Division of Olongapo City and Tarlac Province. Alright? Handog natin ang mga e-learning gadgets para sa mga learners at teachers natin under the online learning modality. Isa rin ito sa ating pamamaraan upang maisakatuparan ang pagbuo ng public education network na makakatulong sa atin upang magkaroon ng makabagong edukasyon. Ito ang sabi ni Yusek Pasqua. Okay? Alright. Meanwhile, numerous last-mile schools in the Ilocos region received 1,218 smartphones and 34 laptops for their learners and teachers, while Cagayan Valley region obtained 727 smartphones and 18 laptops. Please keep it coming, keep it going, all right? Donations pa more or provisions pa more, Lord, para sa ating mga nagdi-distance learning po. Tulong na pong malaki yan. The Division, Supreme Student Government, and Supreme Pupil Government Presidents and Teachers Advisors from Region 2 and CAR also accepted a total of 68 e-learning gadgets to strengthen their initiatives in helping their co-learners. So please, patuloy lang po, no, yung ating mga kongresista, yung ating mga magkakandidato sa susunod nalalapit na eleksyon, o mag-donate kayo ng mga gadgets, please, para makaaral ng mabuting mga bata. The Central Office Monitoring System, composed of representatives from the Information and Communications Technology Service, or ICTS, Youth Formation Division YFD and Education Facilities Division EFD also monitor the current situation and condition of the different Gabaldon school buildings in northern Luzon as part of the provisions of Republic Act 11194 or the Gabaldon Conservation Act. Okay? Sabi ni Yusek Pasqua, that along with the restoration of the historic architecture of the Gabaldon facilities, the program will also be vital in addressing the issues and problems related to the lack of classrooms dito sa ating bansa. Yun ang pinag-usapan dyan eh. Gustong-gusto nating bumalik na sa face-to-face learning, pero yung mga facilities to learn in, hindi pa handa. Di ba? Marami pa rin eskwela, sira-sira, bulok-bulok, marami pa rin classroom na kailangan, kulang pa rin ang classroom, right? So sana we'll take this time to improve all these facilities, to improve the learning conditions of the common mag-aaral, especially do sa mga remote areas at saka mga less privileged areas, right? Ayusin natin naman yung mga classroom, okay? The visit also involved consultation meetings with field counterparts, inauguration of school buildings, and monitoring of the basic education learning continuity plan implementation. Okay? So sabi nga ni Yusek Pasqua, the restoration of the historic architecture of facilities and the program will be also vital in addressing the issues of fixing the mga aging or mga dying classrooms or nagde-deteriorate na mga buildings dito sa paaralan sa Pilipinas. Okay? Alright. So ano pa ang ating mga pag-uusapan? Alright? Well, hold on, of course. Sa Department of Education pa rin, okay? Di ba pinag-usapan natin kasi in the past before, we just breezed right through it a little bit. The remote learning or this online learning or this modular learning, basta distance learning per se, has created some social-emotional strain or psychological effect on our students, okay? Well, ang DepEd, okay, ito na naman, yung Tala Teachers Learners Socio-Emotional Skills as first season ends, okay? The 11th episode web series Tala or Tuklasin, Alamin, Likhain at Alalahanin help children recognize and manage their emotions, especially having been deprived of play and social interaction due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It wrapped up its first season last June 19. Sige, pakita ko sa inyo yung sinasabi ko, alright? Okay, kunin natin ulit. I-grab ko lang ulit. Please, patience is a virtue po. Sandali lang po. Para mapakita ko sa inyo kung anong pinag-uusapan ko. Alright? Kung ano yung tala. Right? Okay, I shall grab it and put it here. Okay, tapos na tong DepEd Distributing Gadgets. Alright, salamat. Okay, tabi na kita dyan. Alright, ito namang tala. O ito parang TV program yata to. Para sa mga mag-aaral, right? Sandali na. Okay. Okay, sandali. Well, so sorry. Sorry. Medyo, wait. Let me grab it again. So sorry. Okay. This is an 11 episode web series yung Tala. Okay? Na geared towards helping the students cope up with this distance learning at saka yung ill effects mentally at psychologically ng pagre-remote learning. Alright? So talaga namang naapektuhan in a way ang ating mga estudyante. So what did I name this? There you go. Okay? So, ito, okay? Look at this. Tala teaches learners social emotional skills as first season ends. Alright? Ano nga yung tala? Okay? Tala means tuklasin, alamin, likhain, at alalahanin. It helped children recognize and manage their emotions, especially having been deprived of play and social interaction because of the pandemic of COVID-19 pandemic. It wrapped up its first season last June 19. This is an 11-episode web series. Noong July 6, okay, Noong July 6, 2021, as part of the Department of Education's Mental Health and Social Support Services, or MHPSS, Tala, Tuklasin, Alamin, Likhain, at Alalhanin provided psychosocial support to elementary learners amidst the remote learning setup as it wrapped up its first season. All right. Okay, led by the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Service, or DRRMS, the 11-episode web series helped children recognize and manage their emotions, especially having been deprived of play and social interaction due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay? Sabi nga nila, dahil limitado ang interaction sa ating kapwa, naging bihira ang pagkakataong linangin ang socio-emotional skills ng mga bata. Ang programang TALA, or TALA, na ihatid sa inyo ng DRRMS ay isa lamang sa mga pamamaraan ng kagawaran upang bigyan atensyon ang pagtutok sa emotional at social development ng ating mga kabataan or mag-aaral. Ito ang sinabi ni Undersecretary or ni USEC Alain Del B. Pasqua, which he explained in a message in the last episode ng programa. Ang DRRMS collaborated with other organizations in conceptualizing the child-friendly program, incorporating elements and segments reminiscent of children's shows like Batibot and Art Angel, di ba? Parang ganun yung tema, naaalala mo yung mga Batibot tsaka Art Angel. Tala made a mark on its audience kasi nagkaroon to ng impact sa mga audience because of its entertaining storytelling type sessions, di ba? Tsaka the presence of Arky, derived from Ready Kid, the official DRRMS mascot, who made each episode more enjoyable tsaka relatable sa mga bata. Okay? Yung programa has 4 segments. Tuklasin, okay, which talks about discovery through songs and exercises. Alamin is the storytelling session. Likhain features art-based activities based on the episode's topic and story. And alalahanin, serving as a synthesis for the whole program. Okay? Okay? Yung show, okay, leaves parents, guardians, and teachers with important tips. Diba? Itong show na to merong mga learnings, all right, of course, okay? It leaves the parents, the guardians, and teachers with important tips on how to help improve their child's mental health based on the episode and theme tackled for the day in a segment called Tala para sa mga magulang, all right? Kasi bawat episode nito ay may fini-feature na storyteller. Whether galing ito sa DepEd, ito sa mga opisyal ng DepEd, or from the central or regional offices, pwede rin itong isang guro or teacher or a representative from the show's external partners. Okay? In its last episode, okay, yung Tala showcased the story Mama para kay Mama. Mama para kay Mama. To introduce, okay, the growth mindset as a dimension of self-efficacy, with DRRMS Director Ronilda Co as the storyteller. Okay? So, naway malaki ang maitulong ng mga aralin, storytelling at art activities ng programang ito. Ang mga aral na pinamahagi ng Tala ay panghabang buhay at habang buhay na dadalhin ng ating mga anak sa kanilang pagharap sa mga darating pang pagsubok. Patuloy tayong magiging matatag at malakas sa pamamagitan ng pagtutulungan at pagkakaisa, sama-sama nating malalampasan ang anumang hamon ng buhay. This is what USEC Alain noted. To translate in English, okay, what he said was that we hope that this programs such as Tala, okay, would bring about good learning experiences for the viewers. Okay, storytelling and art activities of this program would help in that manner. The learnings that Tala will leave to the students is for life. Okay, we will bring this. Okay, okay, as we go through uh, our trials here in this pandemic situation. Okay, we should remain strong and steadfast by helping each other. Okay, and of course through uh, shows like this that will help the students cope up with how they are learning in this pandemic situation. Okay, very good. All right. So I also have a bit of news regarding ano pala, some of the schools, okay, regarding the curriculum 2021, I mean, regarding school year 2021-2022, okay, because before this week or 2 weeks ago, or we were expecting that face-to-face learning was going to resume in the low-risk areas. Kasi yan, pinopost siya ng DepEd kung doon sa mga almost zero infections na areas, low risk, kung pwedeng ipatuloy na yung face-to-face learning. But sorry to say, as of June 22, our president opted not to open face-to-face learning because of the emergence or the fast rising spread of the Delta variant or the Indian variant. So, minabuti ng ating Pangulo na wag na munang buksan ng mga eskwela pa rin. So, distance learning pa rin tayo. Okay? So, ito yung news ko uh, about, no, as of July 3, ang UST po, continue distance learning in school year 2021-2022. The University of Santo Tomas, or UST, will continue implementing distance learning in the academic year 2021 to 2022. Okay? So, ang UST, ang USTE, okay, ay distance learning pa rin, which is actually for most people. Okay? Ayan, saradong eskwela. Ayusin ko lang itong aking mga graphics. Modular learning, alright? Which we patuloy natin pag-uusapan kasi ang daming issues about this. Alright? Okay, online learning. More on that in the next coming days, okay? So, ito yung mga information galing sa DepEd na inisa-isa natin kanina. Alright? Okay? So, going back to my subject matter. Ang UST nga will continue to implement enriched virtual mode or EVM of instruction. UST Office of the Secretary General said in an advisory on Friday, July 2, EVM, or the enriched virtual mode of instruction, which makes use of synchronous and asynchronous learning strategies using UST Google Cloud and other platforms, was introduced in the first term of excuse me, of school year 2020 to 2021. Okay, and introduced tong asynchronous learning strategies using Google Cloud and other platforms nung academic year 2020-2021, so last year, okay? However, UST said it would still continue its preparations for the reopening of limited face-to-face classes. Protocols will be announced to concerned stakeholders once government approval is obtained, it added. For four medical and health programs in UST have started conducted limited physical classes. Kasi naman, hindi lahat ng trabaho pwedeng gawin sa bahay. Lalong-lalo na itong mga medical students na kailangan may lab, kailangan may cadaver. Paano stimulate sa bahay mo yan? Papatayin mo yung pusa nyo para i-testing on. Anyway, meanwhile, medical technology students are set to begin their internship program on July 5, while limited on-site classes for nursing students will kick off on August 9. Wow, okay. So, inauna na itong medical students. Siyempre, frontliners din yung mga yan. Alright, very good. Okay? So, that's what it is. Alright? Okay. I will just have a drop of water. Ay, teka. Merong news dito. Gusto kong basahin. Okay? Kasi we were talking about yung pag-roll out ng gadgets sa Northern Luzon. Pero ito, meron akong nasagap na nung June pala, ang Cavite LGU suspends online and face-to-face classes. Cavite Governor John Vic Remula announced last June the suspension of online and face-to-face classes at all levels in the province. Bakit? Many parts of the province, ito yung nagkabagyo. We're experiencing strong winds and downpour due to the tropical storm Dante last month. Hindi ko alam na sinara pala yung mga eskwela. Okay? Because so temporary lang yan. Okay? Because of the storm, not because of the pandemic. Okay. Nabuksan na ulit yun. So, yun yung nangyari pala. Sinuspend lang sandali because of the baha-baha. Alright. Okay. I sit corrected with that piece of news. Okay. So, ano pang mga balita galing sa DepEd recently? Okay. Constitution, okay. Not much anymore from DepEd, okay. So patuloy ang distance learning, patuloy ang online learning sa ating mag-aaral because that is what the situation calls for. Okay? So what I'm going to do now, of course, we're going to be talking about online learning and learning management systems. But merong question daw, how can you make online learning more effective? Kasi 'di ba, we discussed na may mga problema ang both modular learning tsaka online learning. Yung pagwawala ng motivation and such. Okay? So, an article on Poll Everywhere talked about ways to make online learning more effective. Okay, and let's find that out. Kasi nga, di ba, the coronavirus pandemic has changed almost every part of our lives, including how our children are learning. That's nga itong online learning sa Pilipinas or modular learning or distance learning per se. Okay, as of this writing, like to sa Amerika to, over 124,000 schools have closed across the nation, sending 55 million students home. School teachers across the nation are scrambling to provide online learning options for students. How can teachers used to teaching in a classroom provide an effective online learning environment for all their students, regardless of access and need? Okay? Ito yung kailangan gawin natin dito sa Pilipinas na ginawa sa Amerika eh. Pero tayo kasi nga, di ba, madali-madali. Kandara pa agad mag-online learning. Kulang ang funding, kulang ang facilities, kulang ang materials, pero ginawa natin agad-agad. Kaya nag-suffer naman talaga yung education ng ating mga anak. Hindi lang yung physical presence, yung materials, yung mga lessons na hindi pa masyadong na-transition, hindi na-prepare mabuti. Dahil nga ura-urada yung pagko-close ng eskwela. Okay? Schools and teachers across the nation are scrambling to provide online options for their students. How can teachers used to teaching in a classroom provide an effective online learning environment for all their students regardless of access and need? Okay, ang sagot dyan, it takes a lot of patience, all right? Flexibility and creativity. Totoo ka, right? You really have to be patient. Dahil ang tinuturuan mo, hindi mo nakikita. Minsan, nakapatay ang camera. You have to be flexible. Dapat mag-adjust ka kung paano yung demeanor ng estudyante mo. Tsaka you have to be creative. In online teaching, you really must be creative. Okay? So number one tip, help your students get online. Okay? The coronavirus pandemic has shown a spotlight on the inequalities many students face at home. Don't assume all of your students can get online on a consistent basis. Fortunately, many internet companies and outside organizations have stepped up to try and provide more coverage to help students learn. This guide from highspeedinternet.com provides a list of resources to help students maintain or find internet access. Okay? So number 2 dito sa ganito panahon, learn your online platform. Okay? Anong ibig sabihin? Kasi most universities already offer online learning platforms, right? Or mga learning management systems. And many high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools are also adopting specific platforms for students and teachers to connect. Before you begin teaching online, familiarize yourself muna sa platform na gagamitin nyo. okay, or what your district or school offers. Review all the functionalities of the platform so you can make the most of it. Yun pa yung nangyari, di ba, last year. Dahil nga bago sa mga iba, lalo na yung mga old school teachers na hindi tech savvy, they cannot navigate through the platforms, their learning platforms. So that required training pa rin na hindi naman natin masyadong nabigay last year, ora-orado tayong nag-transition to online or modular. Okay? Recognize that your students have different levels of technological proficiencies. Okay? Most of us assume that everyone in the younger generations is an online wizard and will adapt flawlessly to a remote learning situation. Okay? Well, if that can happen to some students, okay, that isn't true for every student. Talaga naman talaga different strokes for different folks, right? The FCC found out that roughly 19 million Americans do not have internet access. Wow, that's a lot, okay? Which includes many low income and homeless students, which is what we discussed, right? Okay, earlier. Okay, number 4 tip for a successful online business. Take care in setting up your home equipment. Okay, young minds get distracted easily, so don't start off on the wrong foot when preparing your home teaching environment. Okay, find a quiet, secluded area in your home, especially if you are preparing recordings or videos or doing live presentations. Okay, you have to find a quiet place in your room, even though it's just a corner, as long as it's quiet and it's your space, okay? Because that is what you have to prepare for work from home, right? But of course, it's different. It depends on your father's job, okay? All right? Okay. Okay, so number 3 muna. Recognize that your students have different levels of technological proficiency. Totoo. Kasi most of us assume that everyone in the younger generations is an online wizard and will adapt flawlessly to our remote learning situation. Not true naman. This isn't true for every student. The FCC found that roughly 19 million Americans do not have internet access, which includes many low-income and homeless students. O, di ba? Na-shock ba kayo sa ano? 'Di ba? Marami pa rin talaga, 19 million Americans do not have internet access. Kaya nga, tayo, asa pa tayo. But remote learning or not, we need really technology to help us get through this pandemic situation. It played such a key role in people's lives, internet and technology, right? Without it, I don't know how crazy people can be. Okay, so going back to the tips to a successful online business is number 5. Provide different learning options. Okay? Okay, so getting all your students into a video conference for live lectures and discussions is great, but not every student will have the ability to participate. That's right. Maybe their internet can't handle streaming videos. Maybe they need to share the computer with siblings in different grade levels, right? Because maybe they need to share the computers, right, with different siblings or different grade levels. Writing for the Chronicle of Higher Education, Beth McCurdy writes, giving students more than one way to participate in discussions and complete assignments will allow them to figure out what works best for their situation. Okay? So that's what my take on providing different learning options. Okay? All right? Ano pa? Key to a better successful online learning? Create shorter content. Tsaka yun na nga yung sinasabi natin kahapon. Create shorter activities, kagaya kasi ng modular, di ba? 8 modules a week binibigay, and each module has about 3 to 5 activities in it. Oh my, 5 times 8, tapos 8, just do the math, please. At hindi ako magaling dyan. Pero yun na nga right? Create shorter content. Learning at home can be difficult for many students, especially with brothers and sisters and other family members at home. Not to mention yung mga distractions nila of TV, Netflix, video games, phones. Keep your students engaged by creating lessons that are short and sweet and engaging. Habaan nyo kasi yung mga text, habaan nyo, mabubore. Yung estudyante nyo, right? But anyway, let me just remove this picture from my face. I need to remove pala. Ay, ako naman yung nire-remove ko. Ano ba yan? That always happens to me when I'm clicking everywhere and I click myself and I disappear again. But anyway, this is fine. Okay. So, okay. So, yeah, creating shorter content would help. Okay? It's difficult as it is, pero di ba, huwag nyo nang habaan masyado. Think about how you can break down the lectures into bite-sized pieces and find short worksheets, videos, or crafty assignments that students can complete quickly, right? Number 7, assign group and pair work. Your students need social interaction more than ever, but it can be hard to get all your remote students together for traditional class time. To help your students stay connected to their peers, assign small group projects or other partner projects. Encourage old students to reach out to group members or partners to connect at a time and through a medium that they are all comfortable with. Okay? Okay, of course. And then next, we still have about 7 things more to talk about, but we will resume this tomorrow. Okay? So please sit back and relax. Stay in your easy chair. Balikan niyo po kami. So sa mga nakamiss ng live stream broadcast natin po ngayong umaga, pwede niyo pong balik-balikan ng mga iba't ibang episodes ng dito sa Broad Streamcast Communicators channel, or we already have a YouTube channel. So for those who missed or want to repaso or balikan yung mga past episodes, punta lang po kayo sa Broad Streamcast Communicators YouTube channel, and there you will find all our past episodes na pwede niyong balikan po at kakuhanan ng kaalaman. Alright? Very good. So, thank you so much for those who joined me today, and at the same time, Monday, okay? Monday na tayo, July 12. Magkakalahati na ulit yung July na month, right? Almost before we know it, 2 years na yung pandemic. But really, how are we coping? Okay? I think we're so far so good. Okay, resilient naman kasi tayo mga Pinoy, pero ang buong mundo, unti-unting coping up with it. Ang nakakaano dyan, yung Olympics, right? Na tinuloy pa rin ng Japan. Okay? Bukas na lang natin pag-usapan yan. Pero or actually, tapos na yun, nabanggit ko na. Masyado lang talaga akong floored na tinuloy pa rin yung Olympics. Tapos meron mga ibang delegates doon na may COVID. Oh my gosh. So it's like they're spreading it more. And to think that infections in Japan are spreading really fast with the new variant pa. So anyway, maraming salamat po for joining me today. And tomorrow, patuloy pa rin natin pag-uusapan yung mga tips kung paano magkaroon ng successful online learning. Alright? Thank you very much for joining me today. Happy Monday, everyone. And as I always say po, please, at the end of the day, 3 things should remain. Faith, pananampalataya, hope, pag-asa, and love. Love is love, right? So, pagmamahal para sa kapwa, at huwag tayong mawala ng pag-asa. Faith, hope, and love, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hello to my Bautista family who I talked to yesterday on video. My Kuya Choi from Australia, my brother from America. I didn't talk to him kasi hindi siya online. But of course, my sister and my brothers in Manila. Maraming salamat po. And magkita-kita tayo po muli bukas. Salamat!
Inyong natunghayan at napakinggan ang mga makabagong pamamaraan sa mundo ng online sa pamamagitan pa rin ng Broad Streamcast Communicators. Hanggang sa muli, maraming salamat po.